So it's just me for right now, since we're going early. Normally I angle those out, but today I felt like rounding them out. See how that looks. I think it looks a little better, but I don't know. And I just realized I screwed up there, so we gotta rearrange the maybe I can fix it. Yeah, I think it would look better if I did that. Bam. 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 And there's an ice cream truck going by. And I am alone for a little bit, hopefully. Or maybe this is the night where I'm all by myself. Oh, what do we got here? Virus and threat protection. We're good. So no viruses. Thank you. Thank you very much. Is it your favorite because there's hardly any talking? So all I'm doing right now is I'm looking up reference. So if you don't see me drawing, I am looking stuff up. I don't think that's where that goes, but let's see. Oh yeah, I'm way off. So that does not go there. And more so goes here. Now this might be a very short stream since nobody's here. And I am ready to ink. And I got this new Winsor Newton pen of sorts. I'm not sure what it does. Haven't even tested it yet. So this will be my first time using this later tonight. You can see that. It's got a nice nice placing to put your fingers. So we'll try that in a little bit. So on to the Micron. I'm going to use an 8. Actually, I'm going to thicken them up a little bit. Let's see what I have available that I'm going to use. I think I'm just going to stick to microns. Yeah, let's just go with that 8. I'm going to try a different one. This one's not going down so smooth. Yeah, that one's not either. So, I might be forced to use other things. Like, I feel like it's the paper, but I also feel like it could be because I didn't erase any lines. And I really don't want to double go over lines a few times. Huh. Yo, welcome to the stream.
Oh, wait, yeah. I got here as quick as I could.
That's okay.
I'll just do a bust quick. So you like this guy, Mr. Miracle?
Of course, everybody loves Mr. Miracle.
I like him because he's a Kirby. I haven't really read much with him in it. I know some stuff about him.
Like his gimmicky name.
Like, he's with Big Barda. He's what? Is he one of the new gods? He was
Yes.
born on Apocalypse and went to.
Yes.
I forget the name of the other planet right now.
New Genesis.
Yeah, that's it. He's the escape artist. I know that.
Do you know his name though?
Scott Free.
Yes.
Which is an awesome name.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Kirby. Hey? He's the best.
No, why? But none of my microns want to be working for me tonight. I was finally able to get a refill for my Copics.
What was it you were missing? Was it the N3 or the N2?
It was the N3, but I wound up buying an N2, which is okay because I know I go through that one quite a bit.
Yeah, N3 is. I feel like I get a lot of shades out of just one stroke with the N3 for whatever reason.
Yeah, and
Most
then,
of them are just most of the markers you don't really get like a lighter to darker in a stroke so much. I don't feel like you do anyways. So you have to like change markers, a lighter shade or lighter shade of red, lighter shade of red kind of thing.
yeah,
Instead of just getting a lot out of one marker, you know what I'm saying?
yep.
Like you need to have 5, well maybe 3, 4, 5.
So this was my first time
Usually.
filling it up, and I had a leak on me.
Yeah, you gotta go slow. I think you have to make sure it completely absorbs before you drip it again. Sorry, I'm drinking coffee here. I was up all night looting, so
Oh,
I'm kidding. But that neighborhood where it all began there,
oh yeah,
that's my old neighborhood. I
on
used
Lake
to
Street.
that Target they destroyed, that was my Target for a
I
number of years.
so I hate Lake Street. Like I hate that street with a passion. So like part of me is like,
It's a nightmare to
yeah,
drive on it.
yeah,
Even
it
to
is.
drive is
It is.
just like the traffic and everything. I don't know. I don't
Yep.
like driving.
And if anybody that's watching this is not from Minnesota and saying like, "Oh, you're just being mean," no, you come up here for a weekend and you drive on Lake Street, and then you'll have a completely different outlook on that fucking road. I hate that road.
Well, I would take the light rail.
Oh, that's even
I
worse.
wasn't driving at the time, and I would take the light rail and get off at Lake Street. Now there's a National Guard under that bridge there, under that light rail bridge. That was my Target. It's so crazy. I had to watch it all when it was as it was happening. I couldn't keep my eyes off. I was like, dude, that's my old neighborhood. And then I used to work out there in South Minneapolis, even after I moved away.
What'd your wife make of all this?
She doesn't really want to hear too much about it. Kind of scares her.
Yeah.
It's obvious the cops shouldn't have done it. That's, I don't know. And then as far as the rest of it, I don't know how she feels exactly. Sometimes I don't know exactly how I feel about it either. But all those businesses, like that's what people don't think about. It affected a lot of people's lives. I know a lot of people in that area.
Yeah,
I don't know where they go shop for food now and stuff like that.
Right. And now
I
there's
don't know,
people
but
that are out of jobs. There's people that don't have access to necessities. I mean, like they do, but now they just have to go out of their way to, to track them down and whatnot.
yeah, I understand all the rage and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a difference between the rage and then there's and then complete like criminal behavior.
Especially like if you're destroying your own neighborhood, it's a
Right.
little bit like you're not. And I thought it was crazy that the mayor let them take the 3rd precinct.
Yeah.
I used to see that. I used to drive past that, like that Arby's right next to it, which I don't know. I never saw in any footage. They weren't showing the Arby's. It's right across the alley there from the precinct. I don't know if that got lit up or not, But that used to be my Arby's. I used to go there like 3-4 times a week. So I know what that police station looks like and everything, and always on my best behavior driving around that police station there. I bought liquor from that liquor store that lit up, and that was my target. So I was just, I couldn't stop watching it. I was, going through social media, watching all the feeds I could. Hopefully something good comes of all this stuff. Because if not, it's a real waste, but it's just even more of a tragedy.
Well, one of the gas stations by my house got hit last night.
Yeah, Dakota County has got a curfew now too, as well as St. Paul, Minneapolis. Dakota County starts at 8.
So what does that mean? Like, you can't be out on the road?
Yeah, unless it's for work. I think that's it. Work, or you're like a cop or whatever,
Huh. Well,
something
kind of weird because I've got after this I've got to bounce. So
yeah. Well, I don't know where you're going, but there is a curfew out there, at least for Dakota County. I would check it out.
Well, if I get pulled over, I'm just going to play it dumb.
Yeah. Because I don't know. I don't know where you're going or anything, so this is not incriminating evidence. this live stream. So I've been staying, in touch with what's going on as best I can. I don't know what's going on today, but I was the first night I was like, all right, the Target, you know what? I don't know why I didn't think that they would start looting the Target. But it's like, of course. It's like, of course they would have done that, right? I don't know.
Yep.
And then, so the first night I was almost, I don't know. I wasn't so bothered, but when they started looting at 1:00 yesterday, then I knew it was going to get crazy. I'd say that the leadership has been terrible, and the coverage on. There's just been no coverage of it locally. I was like, you guys aren't. There's looting going on right now, and you won't interrupt Ellen? Come on.
Well, focus less attention on it, I guess.
I mean, what good is the news if, as the city's falling apart, they're running sitcoms and shitty talk shows?
Anyway,
this character's fun to draw.
Yep, back on the character.
He's fun to draw. I like my Kirby stuff. I'm trying to think of what I've read with him. I've definitely read like some of the Grant Morrison version from Final Crisis. I remember he was a part in that. And I think he was Seven Soldiers. I might have read some of that stuff.
Was he?
That old. Was there a Seven Soldier comic based on?
Who, Grant Morrison?
Might have been. Yeah. I'll have to look it up. I'll try to look it up here.
I don't know how you went from like Mr. Miracle to Grant Morrison. But leave it to you.
No, you know what I'm saying? He wrote. Grant Morrison wrote I thought of Seven Soldiers with
Yeah, Grant
Mr.
Morrison
Miracle.
wrote. Yeah, he's written Seven Soldiers.
Yeah, but it had. I thought there was maybe a Mr. Miracle book as well as all the other ones they had.
Don't know. Couldn't tell you.
So, you were the Mr. Miracle run by Tom King. That's over, right?
Oh yeah.
Or is that you read all that?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I read the first issue and was like, yeah, I don't want to go down this road.
Yeah, these old Kirby drawings are awesome. Yeah, I find the more you know about a character, the easier it is to draw them as far as, capturing who they are, like their personality. I don't really have a good beat on this guy because I haven't read a lot with him. But he seems kind of happy-go-lucky. He's smiling in a lot of these. That is kind of how I remember him from what I've seen or pictures of him anyways.
Plus, is considering who he's married to.
Yeah, I think it'd be tough to be married to a very large woman. It's not my style. But she's still kind of hot, though, isn't she?
Oh yeah.
What's her deal? She's from New Genesis, or right? Yeah. Is she no? Is she Fury from Apocalypse or whatever it is?
She's a retired Fury.
Hear me wrestling around. I got a mess of markers and stuff over here.
All right, I'm back. Yo, Tony, what's up, man? How are you? And I just got reminded that there's a curfew. So yay. Not that I'm going to follow it because, you know.
I definitely just wouldn't go to Minneapolis
Oh no.
or St. Paul.
I'm going to bypass it. I mean, I do have to cut through St. Paul to get where I'm going, but let's try a different layout here. Does that one work? Works. Yeah, we'll do the zoomed in one.
I didn't catch what was going on with his ear. I don't
Going
think
on
he
with-
has it.
What's that?
Mr. Miracle's ear.
Oh no, they're covered up.
Oh, there's nothing at all. Okay. I think I indicated a little bit anyways. Just slightly there. Rustling around again.
Damn, dude, you're almost done.
I'm just doing a bust. He's got those Egyptian like eyes.
Oh,
Hey, Tom, welcome.
welcome. Hello.
What up, Tom?
What's going on, guys? Sorry I'm late.
We're
No,
just hunkered down with the curfew now. So
Does Apple Valley have a curfew?
Dakota County does, yeah.
Oh, really? I had no idea. sorry to hear that. I was going to go outside and join the party.
Yeah.
Hang on 1 second.
Okay, I've seen a couple different versions of this guy's mask. I gotta go Kirby. Oh, he's got straight up lipstick on back in the day. I kind of like that with the red lips. It's pretty wild.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, welcome back.
So Matt, you haven't heard from Matt?
Nope, Matt's not joining us tonight. Matt has real work to do.
Well, I do too, which is why I can't do your Mr. Miracle live stream, but I'll draw. I just can't draw on that topic.
Oh,
But for now, I'm having a brief pre-dinner of potato salad, a hot dog, and a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
nice.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I awoke this morning to a ton of messages and a few emails saying, "Oh, are you safe? Are you okay?" Which is nice, but I'm not that close to the action.
Yeah, you're a ways away from it. I think
But
I know
it's spreading.
some neighborhoods you don't want to be looting in.
Yeah.
Some of them are packing heat.
Yep. But I wonder how long this curfew is gonna last.
I think till 6 a.m.
Is it just tonight, or is it all weekend, or what?
It's I think it's like 7 to 6 each day. Dakota was 8.
Yeah, Dan,
Or, I
but
don't know. I might have it wrong. It's something close to that. It
Dan,
lasts
that's
till
not-
6. I remember that much.
Jesus Christ. Dan, that's not what he's asking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like how many days?
up?
How many weeks?
Oh no!
Just
I'm
I
just reading
think
that
just today and tomorrow. So
Mall of
far.
America is postponing their Monday opening thanks to the riots.
Thanks, riots.
No kidding, right? Hang on, I need to put the dog in the kennel. Now. Yeah.
You know, he's got the Spawn type cape. Did I already say that? Which is pretty cool.
No.
All right. So anyway, Mall of America has just postponed their Monday opening. Thank you, riots.
Makes sense.
It makes sense that they're closing, but there should not have been a reason for it to close in the first place. So everything is getting out of hand.
Yeah, I've been following it pretty close.
Buddy of mine, his jewelry store got in Minneapolis, got bashed in the front door.
Yeah, that's the people that are suffering the most. Well, I mean, as far as I think people are forgetting about those people that are suffering. I mean,
Well,
to
yeah,
say, not that they're suffering the most. I can't say who's
Right.
suffering the most, but
but I mean, you have people in businesses who have like nothing to do with it
yeah,
getting their life.
yeah, that's.
destroyed.
I feel bad for them, and they're forgotten about. I think too much.
I think Dan Jurgen said it best. You can be upset about both issues.
Yeah, Dan said it best, and Ron Garney had a post on Instagram about it too that I liked.
What do you say? Same thing?
No, Ron went into detail about it because Ron's like I don't want to go like too into it because Ron was talking about it from like the police side.
Mhm.
Is what I got out of it. You know, just a little bit more. It was a little bit more rational and in depth.
Right. Well, I don't know, when crazy controversy in the news happens, I don't really post anything because
Yeah,
there's just no winning. There's just no winning no matter what you post.
right.
I agree with that, and then facts change too sometimes. So
Fact change or
my opinions change sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's like
absolutely, yeah. I think that's the mature way to look at things, is that you're open to having your opinion changed if other things come out. I don't know.
Because like the one,
This lockdown thing isn't bad enough. Now we got this, on top.
oh yeah. I mean, that's why the businesses have got to be really just. I don't think they're all going to come back.
I can't now. I mean, yeah. I mean,
What's to come back to?
well, some of them that were on the verge of being able to come back slowly, like now they can't come back at all.
Yeah, that's.
So,
And it might get worse. We'll see what happens tonight. Who knows?
well, yeah, because this is the weekend, so like not many people have to, wake up for a job. So that gives them extra time to mess things up. I don't know. Like Jeremy said, like I'm trying to look at it from multiple sides. The only thing that I do know for sure is that, that killing of that guy is definitely
that is
unnecessary. And I think almost everyone seems to be on the same page in that. I think a lot of where the differences come from is now how the protests are handled and how it should be done. And then there's people like even saying that, that's like the protests are staged and this was planned all along. And man, I just want to go back to comic books. My rosy that's where we all come together.
I just want to read Spider-Man right now.
Oh, well.
But I do kind of, it is good to think about something else. I've been watching some movies this week until this happened and then got all my attention. What did I watch? I saw the new Rambo.
How was that? I've heard mixed.
That's awesome, dude. It's awesome.
I've heard mixed opinions, but I still want to see it.
It's awesome.
So your review, your accolades make me want to watch it even more.
The only thing that makes me mad is he forgot to kill one person, but I don't want to give away too much.
No.
But there's definitely one person that deserved it who didn't get it.
You know, my wife and I have been watching.
Not to spoil it, but he kills pretty much everybody. So that's just it's a Rambo
That's why
movie.
you
I
watch
don't
a
know if you
Rambo
knew
movie in the
that
first
was
place.
gonna happen.
That's why you watch a Rambo movie. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like
So my wife and I have been watching. We're in the middle of the second movie, but we went on Amazon Prime this week. And
okay.
we watched My Friend Jeffrey Dahmer.
Aw.
Oh,
So
that's
that was kind of
romantic.
it was because I told her about that how big of a story he was back in the day, and how close it is to here, practically just next door. And we watched that movie, and that's like a really bad, low budget movie about his high school life. So it like ended. The movie ended before he really became a serial killer. So it's kind of like Batman Begins in a way, like Jeffrey Dahmer. Begins. So it was kind of bad,
That's
kind of
funny.
lame. Like a couple funny moments in there, and then we just started last night watching Dahmer by that stars Jeremy Renner as Jeffrey Dahmer. Did you guys know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. This is like 2001, and this kicks off just as in his adult life when he's just starting to serial kill. So it's a little bit more. It's a little more fast action, more entertaining, for sure than the My Friend Jeffrey Dahmer. I avoid that. I mean, if you're really bored, it's interesting, but there's not much action in it. Got 2 people in the chat. Did they leave?
Oh yeah, those were like hours, like an hour ago.
When did you stream?
Like at 6:30.
Oh, okay, wow.
Getting
I
early,
till close to 7.
earlier and earlier, Tom. Getting earlier.
Was this on purpose, or were you just that bored?
On purpose.
So I ordered a new camera today. That will. There's a firmware update for it coming, I guess, next month. That will finally allow it to be connected to my computer for a proper webcam, but with like amazing quality.
Yeah, buddy.
That's cool.
So hopefully I'll be able to have a better solution when that time comes. But I'm taking advantage of this Best Buy 18-month financing. So then there's like no interest if you pay it off in a year and a half. That's hard to resist.
I guess I'm just practicing line work now. Just going
doodling.
crazy. Just doodling.
It's a nice headshot.
Thanks, man. I didn't want to do anything too crazy because I was late. So I don't know how long I know Jeremy's got stuff to do.
Probably with the girlfriend.
You know you got game when the pandemic doesn't slow you down.
Absolutely. What else did you guys do this week?
Gosh. You know, we had a guy come over and clean our vents.
Oh yeah.
Is that code for something?
It's not.
It's
not.
Big monkey.
And my son was crying. He was crying so bad, because he wanted to get involved in the cleaning and all this and that. So I was trying to get him away from it, and he's crying. He cried so bad that he threw up.
Oh yeah.
And the
I've
guy
done
cleaning the
that before.
vents, the guy cleaning the vents was out, and then he came back in, and he says, I don't know what y'all cooking, but it sure smells good. And I was like, dude, I couldn't believe he said that. I was just laughing my ass off. It's like, that's the funniest thing anyone said in this house. But yeah, I was like, hey, you want a bowl? I'll get you one.
Some of that regurgitated Ethiopian food.
Yeah. You know, he doesn't like that stuff yet.
He doesn't like your wife's food?
Nah, I mean, it's spicy, you know.
Oh, I love spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
Yeah, makes sense.
So yesterday I went to Target and then I went to Walmart in Cottage Grove, and there was cops like stationed in front.
Yeah.
As far as
That
I
sounds
know,
about right.
there's a Target in Napa Valley. That's closed, right?
Yeah. I think they're closed all weekend.
Yeah, in Burnsville, where my parents are, it's closed.
We want to do it by ourselves, not to do by ourselves.
I was telling Jeremy that Target that got destroyed second night technically.
Mm-hmm.
That was my old Target I used to shop at.
Oh yeah, jeez.
It's crazy watching the video being like, that's my old I used to shop there because you think about all the times you went there, you never in your mind did ever, you know, did the idea of the place would just be demolished by rioting. It never crossed my mind, you know, all the times you shop there. It's just so crazy.
Right. Well, it's like, you don't know how crazy it feels until like kind of hits home with like family or friends. Like I said, my friend's jewelry shop.
Yeah.
He's one of my best friends who I've known since, like middle school. And, his family's had this shop in Minneapolis as long as I've known him. And it gets messed up. Thankfully, he said that nothing was stolen. It was just vandalized. But, they're there today boarding it up.
We have to pay for ourselves. Yeah. Okay. Go to.
I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just adding lines that I would never usually add all these lines. I don't think a lot of them are working for me really, but
I think it's fine.
I look kind of lazy.
I think to me,
Some lazy lines on this one.
as long as you have the structure is solid. Like I've always found, like as long as your structure is solid and your lines aren't like
God awful.
I guess they're not like totally like against reality. Like it's really hard to mess up a drawing no matter how many lines you draw on it. Now the same can't be said for like if you're drawing like a pretty woman, I guess. But I guess a lot of it depends on your rendering style. On guys, definitely, as long as you have a solid rendering structure, you can throw lines in whatever direction. And more often than not, it'll still work.
Yeah, I like some of those artists that just take it way too far and obviously are way too slow because they're like, Stephen Platt.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much of his stuff. I mean, I remember he was like kind of a deal back in the day because he was on Moon Knight. And some people regarded him as like a similar to Todd McFarlane. Which
he had
because to me, as a Todd McFarlane fan, like he didn't look anything like McFarlane. Like if you're a really hardcore fan, you can totally tell the difference.
Yeah, you can. They're not that similar.
Right.
I think they both had like kind of these wonky, wild face like mugs, that they would draw, kind of the thing.
Yeah, and they both used a lot of lines, but their lines weren't the way they used the lines. totally different.
Oh yeah. There's somebody now that has a very similar style. His name's Rob Willis.
Yeah.
It's pretty
What you
cool.
talking about?
Rob Willis,
But it looks very labor intensive.
Yeah, I suppose if we have the time to do it, but that's the problem is that comics books on deadline. But going back to
Yeah, or
Stephen
even
Platt,
like
isn't he just
takes
doing
a
like
lot.
multi-movie stuff now?
Oh, who's that?
Stephen Platt, isn't he doing mostly movie stuff now these days?
Yeah, from what I've seen, like I follow him on Instagram. There's not a lot on there to.
Yeah, like I follow him as well, and he doesn't seem to post too much stuff.
Yeah. I think he did something recently that was cool, but I already forgot what it was. I think he was doing some designs on that Oblivion movie. I haven't seen that though. I think that's a Tom Cruise flick
Oh, yeah.
with Morgan Freeman. Did you guys ever see? It had two different names.
Edge of
Live,
Tomorrow.
Die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, was Live, Die, Repeat the other one? The
Yeah.
other name?
Yep.
The other title had. I
Yep.
kind of like that title more. Live, Die, Repeat. I like that.
Oh, is that the wait? That's you're talking about the Tom Cruise movie, right?
Yeah, that one was
And they
pretty
changed
cool.
the
I like
title?
that one. I give it thumbs up, man.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah, I think I saw that before.
It
That
ends at the Louvre.
That movie's basically Halo.
Yeah, it is a video game brought to life, for sure. It is a video game plot. He dies and is able to come back. I thought that lady, Emily Blunt, right? Is that who's in it?
Yes.
I thought she's really cool. I mean, she's, she played a tough woman really well. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't always buy it, but
Are you
I
saying
buy
she would
her
have made a
as a
better
tough lady.
Captain Marvel?
I do. I do think she would be better.
She was what's that A Quiet Place, that sequel that got delayed. Like that's supposed to come out earlier, like back in March or something like that. Like I wanted to see that, the follow up.
Is that the Krasinski
Yeah.
movie? I haven't seen that yet.
Oh
I have to
yeah,
check it out
it's all right.
sometime.
It's interesting. It's pretty decent.
I was on a movie kick until these riots started. And I was watching that. Some live streams and stuff of that. And I can tell you, man, there's been so little reporting on that by WCCO, KSTP. I couldn't believe it. I mean, they have hardly covered anything that happened, really. So,
What do you guys think about the news about Henry Cavill for sure back as Superman?
I like
Get
it.
Affleck in and we're good.
Yeah, I like it too. I figured.
What'd you say, Jeremy?
I said get Affleck back and we're good.
Yeah,
I think they should get Affleck back. Just keep some continuity going.
Yeah,
They
just
can do
doesn't-
another Batman movie and be like, "Oh, that's the younger version. We got the older version."
Yeah, it just
in this
doesn't make sense to have Cavill back and
Yeah, they should get.
Aquaman and Wonder Woman and Flash popping up on TV shows, but Affleck's not a part of it.
Right.
So
well, there's a rumor that AT&T wants Ben Affleck back.
good.
Who knows? What's going to come of that?
I say scrap this shit Batman movie that they're planning and keep pumping out shitty Justice League movies until you finally get it right.
I think I saw. I mean, it was on. I didn't have sound going, unfortunately, and it was just on YouTube. But do they have a new trailer for the Snyder Cut? Because it looked really cool. This trailer that I saw.
As far as I know, there's not been an official trailer, just like fan made stuff. but I'm pretty pumped for it. I mean, I might just do like if there's like a trial month of HBO Max, I might just do that just to see the Snyder Cut.
Like the thing about it, which I think is better, to have a Snyder Cut is, it's just one man's vision. It's a little bit better than,
Right.
what we got was, I don't know what we got really. That was pretty wild. Corporate oversight.
That's what it was. That's really all it is, man.
They would have been better off, I think, to just let them keep running. I mean, instead of whatever it was they made, that because that was not a good flick. I haven't watched it a second time. I like some of the characterization of Superman in it, that they lightened him up a bit.
I don't.
Well, they made him a little bit more. I don't know.
Superman.
Yeah, I like Superman, I suppose.
Like on Twitter, I'm like any criticism of Joss Whedon's version, like people like troll comments or like leave like mean comments. Like I always try to like as much as I can.
I mean, I've liked Whedon movies. I think I did like the first Avengers movie, and I like what's that one? Cabin in the Woods.
Did he direct that? I thought he produced that.
He wrote it, so I give him credit in some way. He and somebody else co-wrote it in one weekend.
In one weekend, yeah.
Wow.
I wish I was that
They hammered it out in a hotel. That sounds kind of crazy, but yeah, they hammered the script out in a hotel.
Yeah, George Lucas did that with episode 1 over a weekend.
For real?
No.
I think it kind of makes sense sometimes from what I hear of what Hollywood does to a script anyways, it's like you might as well just write it in one weekend because they're going to change everything anyways.
True.
You just need something on paper that you can sell or something.
Somebody's watching us draw.
Uh-oh.
I better get back at it then. I was slacking there.
Who? Someone we know or an anonymous?
I'm just adding lines for no reason.
Anonymous.
Ooh. I'm just infiltrating. I'm gonna see what we say.
The idea itself is not bad.
So did you get your cards all sent out, Tom?
I did, and I sent out all the scans. But I see that the scans have not even been downloaded yet, so I don't know if there's like with the delay and things. I know the deadline got extended, but who knows? I'm done with it finally.
And this one is through Upper Deck or Tops?
Upper Deck.
Is that the same one you've been just the same guy you've been dealing with over the past couple of years?
This is a new guy.
Okay.
This is a new guy, so he seems to be a nice guy. These sketch card gigs just kill me.
You do them pretty often, huh? Or
No, not too often, and I've actually told myself that I wanted to quit doing them for like a while now, but I keep getting suckered back in. I don't know why. I think like by the times that I get offered them, like I'm in a downtime, so I figured, yeah, I'll chip away at it, and then as soon as I accept it, then something like a better gig comes up. So then it gets put on the back burner, and then like by the time then the deadline like creeps up, and I'm like, oh, I gotta crap these out. And I push these guys like crazy, and they still come back to me. In a way, I kind of want to see how far I can push these guys, and see what they are. Because they keep coming back to me, like no matter like how crappy I like pound it out, or if I like keep pushing on the deadline and stuff like that, they keep coming back, and I'm like, okay,
they love you.
I don't know, or they're just desperate. I think they're more desperate. I mean, they don't need me. I don't know. I mean, I guess the artist proof cards that I get as a result as part of the compensation. So for every 10 cards I do, I get like a blank artist proof card to do commissions on. You know, I mean, I guess that's kind of worth it. Just barely worth it, because I can sell those for big money. Do commissions on it. Make like $100 on the card or something. Or I can just sell the card blank outright for like $50 or something like that. People will buy them up.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how like as like I suppose now you have a reputation as doing them.
That's
so,
what I
like,
don't want. That's the thing, is that's the reputation I don't want.
Oh, okay. Well, I just mean that way you're able to actually do one of the, because I feel like if I did a bunch of cards, I wouldn't have someone necessarily interested in getting the what do they call that? This limited edition, the one you were just talking about, the
the artist proof.
artist proof.
Blank cards, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't.
I think a lot of that. I mean, it's just through my reputation and just working in comics, as opposed to just doing the cards. Because I've seen plenty of people who do sketch cards and they can't even sell those things, unload them as commissions to save their life. So I think
like historically for me, before I was getting into sketch covers, I tried my hand at like sketch cards, you know?
Yeah.
And I couldn't sell them at a con no matter what.
Yeah,
and I put way, you know, at like a con, like I couldn't sell the sketch cards that I would make. So I was like, man, I'm not. And then, you know, the sketch cover thing was going better. So I was just like,
oh yeah.
I think I was putting way too much into some of those sketch cards I did too.
Well, I think,
like, you know, doing like a full body shot is probably dumb.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do that anymore. Yeah, just head sketches. You know, I do them. Well, first of all, I think it's a matter of how well you market that part. So if you have a following and you're like, hey guys, like this is how I would do it. I said, hey, these are what I have. And basically there's a price point for every budget.
Yeah.
So if you can't afford a sketch cover, this is the next best thing, sketch card, and it's like significantly cheaper. And because it's significantly cheaper, I'm never going to do more than a headshot on there. So, it just depends on how you space it out and how much work you put into each one, and market that part. So
I appreciate the insight because, you don't have to tell me that stuff, but I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? That's some insider, that's some good business talk, But yeah, I couldn't sell one for more than $5. So I was like,
yeah, like what's the point? Right?
a full body shot for like $5. It's nice to have something at a lower price point though. But yeah, maybe if I just did like a headshot, then it's more. That's not so crazy,
Yeah, I mean, when I started, over 10 years ago, I was selling sketch cards for $5, and then but they sold. But I never really put much effort into it.
Yeah. So
Since then,
yeah, you
it's like,
definitely.
well,
Yeah.
there's clearly somewhat of a demand if it's cheap enough. But that, which is why, like I just do it in my spare time. I don't really make it any type of priority that will take up a chunk of my day, especially if there's better things to draw and better money to be made elsewhere. But we'll see. Unfortunately, due to all the cons being canceled this year, Comic-Con was supposed to be my big testing point this week with the sketch cards and stuff.
Comic-Con?
Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh,
Like that was supposed to be like I was supposed to literally have an album. Like my plan was to do an album full of sketch cards, like pre-made sketch cards, just to see how it would sell.
you know who does some really extremely detailed sketch cards that are insane? NAR?
NAR, N-A-R, right?
N-A-R.
I know
Yep.
who you're talking about.
His stuff is really wild.
Yeah, he puts
He's
a lot
really good. It's his YouTube videos that made me decide to try Copic markers and all that.
Yeah.
And to get into it, because I saw him do it, I was like, wow, it looks like computer effects. How I didn't know you could really do that. Like the way he did it. And I was like, he really inspired me. I was like, I gotta play with some of those. Because I know how to computer color.
Yeah.
I just didn't know you could get those same effects. I'm like, wow. So like in some way I already knew how to use Copics before picking them up. I felt like I think they are kind of, I don't know. For me, you get these certain effects that remind me of my own computer coloring. It's just something in the gradients, like the transitions from light to dark. I don't know, something about it. Like, yeah, like my collection has just grown slowly over time, organically.
Yeah, mine too. Like I could never afford to buy like a giant, like all at once set.
Yeah, that's so crazy to me. Like $300 or $400 or however much it is.
So
it's at least $300.
I just bought like 3 more
for the big one
last week actually at Blick, or this past week at Blick that I needed. Like every card. Here's an interesting thing about the sketch card sets that I do. Every set that I do, I always find out, man, I could use more of this color. I wish I had this color. So then, like after I'm done doing a sketch card set, like I always write down the colors that I think would be useful, so I don't have to go through that same thing next set.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just bought like 3 more colors over here, but I've been playing a lot with watercolor lately, as you might see on my Instagram. So that was kind of more of an attempt to try to make up for the lack of Copics that I don't have.
And since the lockdown that we had, across the country, business for me slowed down quite a bit, but now I feel like there's been a bit of an uptick. Have you felt that at all? Just like maybe things, I don't know, a little more interest lately in the last couple weeks.
Interest in what? In
And like commission stuff,
oh yeah,
like
yeah.
work has
Yep.
increased maybe over the last couple of weeks. I feel like things
That's
are
nice.
maybe getting back to
That's the
something a
nice
little
thing
bit
about being an artist.
closer to normal.
I've had a few commission inquiries in the last week, which is good because it kind of makes up for the lack of appearances.
Yeah, I think some people are kind of hungry for that con experience a little bit, and people still, the people that like to buy art, I think, are still interested for sure. And even though they can't make it to the con, they still want some art. So I think somebody's knocking on my door. I'll be back. I'll just mute myself quick.
So Tom, I got a Copic that's leaking on me because I refilled it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, what do I do?
it's leaking.
Yeah.
Did you refill it? Well, there's two reasons: you refill it too much, or there's an air gap that's not sealed by the tip.
Huh.
Because some of the tips like get bad or something like that, so sometimes you just have to replace the tip. And you can buy them at the art store. They're like
Oh yeah.
packs of 3. I've had to do that, but sometimes I just accidentally overfill. I actually had to buy a completely new red marker because the one that I had, Copic one, the cadmium red, like the tip was completely dried out. Like but the cap actually did not even create a seal at all. It wasn't airtight, and because it wasn't airtight, the tip is like constantly like dry and you can't get ink out of it. So I finally just gave up and I just got a new one. This one.
You know what happens? It's a mistake I repeat with Copics is I'll have a leaky one, or one that's, it will just totally bleed because I'm trying to use the very tip and like getting the sharpest line I can.
Yeah.
So instead of like coming from the side, I go like this, like up.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just drips down and I get a huge blot.
Yeah.
I gotta
I've had that too.
That has happened to me like 6-7 times.
What happens more with
all
my
the
gray
time.
stuff, with my gray markers than anything else than any of the other colors for some reason.
There's it always happens with one of the more saturated colors to me. Like, oh man, come on. And then I gotta figure out a way to somehow fix it and not lose the whole drawing.
This is my expect them to do a Hulk watercolor. Speaking of watercolors.
Oh, that's awesome. That makes me want to switch to watercolor.
It's fun. It's fun those last couple of weeks, just like messing around with it. It's like I'm rediscovering a new tool or something. But it's hard to control, man.
It's more archival.
So you spill water on it.
In high school, watercolor was my jam. If I remember right, doesn't this character fly around on discs?
Yeah.
I was thinking about having him do that. I've read a lot of DC comics, and I'm sure I've read probably more stuff with him in it than I remember. because he's one of those characters that pops up fairly often, I'd say. I
Yeah,
think I was maybe reading Justice League when he was a member. They've had just about everybody be a member of Justice League. I remember Tom was doing a Justice League issue that had Dick Grayson as Batman, and he was flirting with Supergirl a little bit. I think they just had or something like that.
I
You
did.
remember that, Tom?
Justice
Where
League?
something in the dialogue where she kind of made it obvious that she had the hots for Dick Grayson.
I don't even remember that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's another one of Dan's crazy memories that may or may not
I
be
mean,
real.
I very well could have, but my memory is just crap.
Yeah, I think you've worked on so much stuff you probably just don't.
No, seriously, like I've looked at like really old issues that I've done, and I don't even remember the page. Like I'll flip through it and I'll be like, man, I don't even remember. I mean, it looks like me, yeah. Like I totally like worked on it.
That's one of those things. Like if you say it's me, all right, I guess. But
It's me in the credits.
yeah,
I wish I knew which page of that. Do you remember that flash that you did? The villains.
Are you talking to me or Dan?
Yeah, well, you. Dan's never worked on Flash.
Oh yeah, the Grodd.
he did.
Yeah,
Yes.
like you had me ink one of the like the borders on one of the panel borders on the page, and I don't remember which page it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it would be nice to like go back and be like, yeah, I inked that page, or I inked the borders on that page.
Listen to this noise.
Well, you inked like plenty of other ones, so it doesn't matter. You inked so many on so many different titles.
667.
Hey Jeremy, do you want to go to the batting cages tomorrow? Can you? Or,
I maybe. I mean, it's going to be a drive for me, but I could.
well, you don't have to. I'm just asking.
What time are you thinking?
Oh no, I'm pretty flexible, I guess. If there's a time that works better for you, then I'm open to entertain that.
I could let you know closer tomorrow.
Okay.
You gotta heal itself is not that. You gotta heal itself is not that.
Okay, Jeremy's going with the Copics. The
Dang.
colored Copics. Let's see if I can draw something. Yeah, it does seem like for like the comic book movies I could think of, the most exciting one coming is the Snyder Cut.
I agree.
I can't even remember. Oh yeah, I mean, what, Morbius? I don't think anyone's really all that excited about.
I'll check out
compared to-
Morbius just because it's Morbius. I'll check it out. I mean,
But
and
that's
I'll
the
check
only-
out
maybe-
Batman for sure, just because it's Batman. But yeah.
Yeah, but they don't even have a trailer of that one yet or anything.
Well, I know, but
So it's like,
Zack Snyder's Justice League. I mean, that could be pretty
that
exciting
far
because
off?
to me, it's basically going to be like a totally different movie, like a brand new movie.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how. And I think it's going to be very different. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's just going to be a lot of.
I think there's like more reference to Dark Side.
It better be because I hated that whatever villain they used.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah, like who cares? Who knows and who cares about Steppenwolf?
I care.
You and no one else.
Well, you remember like the original trailer for Justice League? Steppenwolf mentions the Green Lantern.
I don't.
Oh. Well then.
Sorry.
What do you guys
Sorry.
think of the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie?
Oh, jeez.
When I saw it in theaters, I don't think I hated it as much as most people hated it, but I didn't like it.
I was the same way.
I definitely knew it was really bad, but I think I liked Sarsgaard in it. He was gosh, what is that character's name? Guy with the big head.
Hector Hammond.
Yeah, that's it. I
Leader?
liked him in the movie, and I liked Sinestro in the movie. So I liked the bad guys somewhat, but Sinestro wasn't really the bad guy in it yet. It's just the look was pretty bad. I didn't really like the glowing outfit. No, maybe it was just more the CGI itself that didn't sell it well enough. Characters looking like rubber.
Yeah, I just didn't like that they just made him like a goofball.
Yeah, I should just try the back of this one. Yeah, I guess Ryan Reynolds doesn't seem like good casting for Kyle, or not Kyle. I mean Hal.
Yeah.
Yes.
C.
I'm smelling the sea. The so there is a phantom tree.
Below the trees.
Oh, hey Tom, I stopped up at Granite City Comics in St. Cloud last weekend,
Okay.
and one of your issues of Batman Superman from New 52 run, it was near the end. They had one graded for like $50.
What issue is this?
I think it was like 47, 48.
The trees are
Talking to the wrong lead. You know.
It came out in 2016. I remember that. Yannick Paquette did the cover. Doug did interiors. Let me pull up an image.
Is that the one with the Chinese Superman?
It might have been like the first appearance of it.
How is that store?
Very small.
Oh, is it?
She sees the moon.
I noticed a lot of things were kind of damaged or to my like a lot of books weren't to my condition.
Yeah, because you're like crazy. You're crazy like OCD perfectionist.
Oh yeah, I went in there. I didn't buy a thing.
When you left, the owner's like, God, what a loser.
See the sign.
Yeah.
They're watching you shop and all that, and watching you without anything.
However, I was regretting myself for like not buying because he had a Todd McFarlane #1 Spider-Man,
Yeah.
the gold cover for like
Okay.
$50.
Explaining the story.
And I thought about that. I kind of like
I remember I
wanted.
had gobs of those.
What's that?
I remember I had gobs of those when I was a kid. The gold cover. Like that was like the easiest one to get, wasn't it, back then?
I thought it was the green cover.
No, I had more gold covers than I had green covers.
Okay, because like the first one that made it into my collection was the silver one. That's all I was finding for a while.
Yeah, silver was really easy to get too.
The green ones just look stupid.
Yeah. It's like I wanted the platinum one.
Oh, number 32. Let's see if I can pull up, if I can share my screen here. Share screen. There we go.
Done. The
This
truth-
issue right here.
the truth
Did I work on that?
Yeah.
I guess so. If you say so.
Yeah. Tomasi, Menke, and Bilga, Alamy.
If you say
It
so.
sounds like Tom's getting accused of a crime or something by the cop. I did that? I don't know.
Can you open up the book?
No, I can't.
Oh.
I don't remember doing that, officer. I'm sorry. If that was me, I don't remember that. Oh, Big Bart, I haven't drawn her before. There's something kind of cool and fun about drawing her. I'm having a good time. Is that her hair? Her hair is really... I can't tell if that's her hair, if that's a helmet.
That's a helmet.
Does her hair hang out through the bottom? Oh, that's more helmet.
That's her helmet.
Oh, I thought it was clever, and it was like her hair hangs through the bottom. Okay, she's not as fun as I thought. Turner sure drew a cool Big Barda back in the day. I did not draw this. Turner is
for a commission way back in the day. It was like terrible.
It's kind of going off of what I saw in the cartoon design.
I don't think it's very appropriate for people in our state to be firing off fireworks right now.
It's a little spooky.
Is that what's going on back there?
Yes. I'll give it about 5 more minutes, and then we will call it a day. Call it a day.
More like a night.
Now it's time to go out and party.
Yeah. Who you guys want to meet?
Lake Street.
Oh, I'll show you guys something. Well, this is I can't actually. It's not age appropriate. It's another commission I'm working on. A She-Hulk commission.
Oh, can you cover it? Can you cover parts up?
I can, but I suppose I can. I can try. It's a cover recreation.
Oh, hang on. Let's get you.
Oh,
I saw something.
Well, did you already go into detail on certain parts?
She had a,
Oh, yeah.
she had a nip slip. That's the
there's
good
more than
version
just
there.
lips. So I gotta ink that this weekend.
That's the good version right there.
Yeah, I'm actually going to make 2 versions because I got to cover it. So there's going to be like an adult version and a general audiences friendly version that I'll have at shows. That's the type of stuff I get commissioned for.
Cool, dude. Well, on that note, let's just wrap it up.
Okay.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
It was fun. Sorry I couldn't participate.
Oh, that's okay. You were here.
Maybe next week.
So far, I made on that one.
Nice.
No biggie, whatever.
Jeremy, give me
I
a.
already lost. Oh, it's on the other side. That's the finish.
Oh, that's nice. Very nice.
Okie dokie.
All right, dude.
Awesome.
Jeremy, just text me tomorrow.
Okie dokie.
All right, I'll see you guys. See you, Dan.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Later, y'all. Have a good night.